All right.
All right.
5:29.
Good evening. It is 5:30. The first Parks and Recreation meeting of the year for 2024. Can I get roll call, please?
Mr. Martin,
Here.
Mr. Grumney,
Here.
you present.
Okay. And then it looks like we have approval of minutes.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Mr. Martin,
Yes.
Mr. Grumney,
Yes.
minutes approved.
I don't know. I don't think we have any visitors tonight. So we'll, it looks like Alyssa did some legwork on the National Fitness Campaign effort. So first of all, thank you for the very thorough write-up on your investigation there. So it was very well done. So I had a chance to read, but I didn't know if you want to hit some of the highlights or.
Yeah, so I spoke to a total of 5 municipalities, and the key takeaways that I got from those were that the fitness courts were well received in all of their communities. The residents were all very excited about it. Nobody said they had anything bad or put forth anything negative about it. There most likely will be some vandalism. It's typically minor, such as dents in the wall from swinging the rings or kids throwing rocks at them. And the covers on the equipment may get torn or cut up. That has happened to 2 of the municipalities I spoke with. And all of them said that the kids will treat it as a playground. And that's a recurring theme with every single community. And all municipalities received some sort of grant from the National Fitness Campaign to pay for their fitness court.
Right. Yeah, I saw about the vandalism seemed to be predominantly in Fairborn. It looked like city of Fairborn, but that's certainly a concern. And if I remember when we talked to the individual from the group, I think you can pick some of the type of equipment you want. So maybe you can avoid the cloth situation. I'm not sure, but I figured there might be some of that. And then the kids, I don't know how you avoid that other than not putting it near a place where kids like to go, like a playground or a splash pad or so, yeah.
I was just gonna say, I mean, I remember that as one of the key takeaways from our conversation with them, that this is not meant to be placed at a location where, it attracts young kids to
Right.
be in and around it. Really, the location and the purpose is generally an older population. And so if you place it properly, maybe some of those issues start to go away.
Yeah. In fact, I think 14 plus is what it was geared towards. So I think if you were to put this anywhere, it would have to be somewhere where you've got other adult theme like activities, whether it's a walking path, whether it's pickleball courts, whether it's, I don't think J.R. Smith Park is the right place for it.
It's someplace way out in the open,
Yeah.
that's obvious that activities are going on there.
Yeah. So, yeah, good point. So they did mention something about make sure you have shade because that equipment can get pretty warm, when it's, when it's summertime. So, anything surprise you that they said that you thought, oh, wow, I didn't think or expect that or?
One of them said that that was the city of Newport. They actually have a camera that they installed with a sign that says that this area is under surveillance. And that has helped them in the terms of vandalism and the kids coming and using it inappropriately.
I was gonna suggest that. I wondered if any of them tried that, so. Yeah, keep it under observation and that will help, I think.
Right. Or at least give the appearance that it's under observation. Yes, so very good. Well, I appreciate that. And I'm glad to see overall, it sounds like it's been successful. It's just, you can learn from other people's, trials and errors and try to make it better. But I know that was a lot of calling. So thank you for doing that. I appreciate it. Daryl, anything else? I don't know as far as next steps, and we've done some, I don't know, reporting out to the rest of council, but
Yeah, again, my recollection was that, this is not necessarily something we're going to consider for the current year, 2024. So this, I think, is just meant to be base research that when we do begin to kind of move forward with a park that's better suited, we'll at least have this in the file.
I like that base research. I like that. I'll probably reuse that.
It's okay. You can use that.
Okay. All right. Thank you. And then it looks like, anything else on that? Sorry. I mean, I just skip. Are you good, Dave? Okay. State budget request, the Ohio Fallen Heroes Memorial. It sounds like we have a budget request out there with the state. I'm waiting on maybe a reply.
Yeah, so Alyssa helped put this together, so I'll let her maybe talk a little bit about what is being proposed. But the reason I wanted to get it in front of the Parks Committee is because we have submitted 2 other grant applications connected with the state capital budget. One was J.R. Smith Park, and the other one is the State Route 37 improvements and the Ohio to Erie Trail extension. But we had also received a call from the Ohio Fallen Heroes Memorial Board of Trustees asking, they were going to submit something, and they were asking if the city would be supportive of their efforts, and we certainly said we would be supportive of that. And so wanted to let you know that there technically are 3 applications then that are in for funding. Again, this is a joint application between us and the Fallen Heroes Board. And with that, Alyssa, maybe you just tell them a little bit about what's being proposed.
They want to remove the current pavers that are in the memorial area and put a concrete pad down underneath to help stabilize it and to help with drainage in the area. And they were going to put those back, so it's we're using the same brick essentially. And then they're going to put more pavers down up near the flagpole, and the sidewalk will be removed and then replaced with the brick to match the memorial area. And then they were also going to replace the sidewalk that goes over the walking bridge to match the sidewalk that's also on the other side, because the 2 sidewalks, they don't match properly. So they want to create a more cohesive look throughout the memorial.
In the process of doing that, the handrail on that bridge is splitting terribly. Parts of the wood are actually breaking off now. And if somebody's walking along holding the handrail, they end up with splinters in their hand. I'm a voice of experience. And so I'd like to see something done with that handrail as it's going across there as well.
Okay. Yeah, we'll definitely, well, I'll alert the service team to that. I think they actually may be able to do some of that.
Okay.
It does curve, and so that makes it a little bit more challenging in terms of the maintenance on it, but I got that.
But this piece of wood is in bad enough shape that I think it could be taken off of there and use that material that you could form into what looks like pieces of wood and put it on there rather than actually have wood that's going to splinter when people are using it as a handrail.
Okay.
Did I recorrect $70,000 is the estimated cost to do that work that Alyssa just described?
It is, yep.
Okay.
And there's a sketch, or not a sketch, there's a map that shows you the subject area on packet page 9, and then packet page 10 kind of identifies the individual components that Alyssa was just talking about. I will add that in the conversation I had with the Fallen Heroes trustees, the reason they're looking to do this is not that it's in terrible shape at the moment, but that they would just anticipate that, you know, the ongoing maintenance associated with a brick gathering pad, you know, is just, it's going to wear over time. They already
The
started.
foundation makes all the difference.
Yeah.
It really does.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and you know, I don't, you know, I won't speak for the Fallen Heroes Memorial Board, but it does sound like they probably maybe have reached the end of the number of monuments that they're going to place out there. I think they may be considering alternatives for future names to be added to the memorial. So that may be another thing that's kind of driving the fact that they're looking to maybe do some improvements over there. So, but again, I mean, the board will ultimately make that decision, but that's something they're certainly thinking about now.
And the grant would cover the total cost, and the grants for 70,000 as well. So the total cost, except I think for like $54 was paid by the.
Yeah, actually, it does include a match from the city, 10%, $750 from us.
Okay, okay.
That's not 10%. Yeah. 7,000. No, yeah, 7,000 would be 10.
750 is 10% of 7,500.
Yeah. So
Yeah, no, it's a 70,000. Yeah, you're right.
it would be $7,000.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it'd be 10%, yeah.
Yeah.
And then, okay, and then, sorry, in the grant, when is the approval expected, like a decision on the grant?
So it'll align with the state capital budget. So it'll be before June 30th of next year because the state capital fiscal year will be in
So not the
July
20
1.
June, but the following?
Yeah,
June or the
well, I
coming
guess we're
June?
into 2024.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
so it'll be by June 31 of this year, June 30 of this year.
Okay.
However, I think they anticipate that this probably happens somewhere in the April or May-ish timeframe rather than June. The operating budget tends to go to right up to the deadline. The capital budget doesn't quite go as far.
Okay.
We have submitted copies of all of the requests to our elected officials. State legislator Beth Lear and Senator Brenner, and they're the ones who submit their list of projects to the committee, to the budget committee. There's also a process that involves some internal ranking or regional ranking, I'm sorry, of applications that goes through the Columbus Partnership. So we've submitted the materials to the Columbus Partnership as well to kind of make sure that it's on their list of projects to prioritize. So all three of the projects, again, have followed the same path.
Anything else on that or sounds like we're doing well? Okay. And then it looks like we've got some updates on the other park initiative, J.R. Smith Reservoir and Old Orchard.
Yeah, so I don't know, Dan, anything we want to say in terms of, I mean, I don't think we've done much yet on J.R. Smith Park.
No, I still owe you the pricing for the survey and geotech.
Yeah. So yeah, not much has happened on that, although again, we do have a plan for what happens next. And then the Reservoir Park, they have deployed, we've talked a little bit about this. I don't know if Eric's giving you any updates.
No, they they were wanting to draw down the reservoir water, but they were out of sequence. They need to put the storm sewer in so they can have some place to run the water. So they were kind of a little ahead of themselves. So they got to do that first.
Yeah, but again, it's it's underway. Just as we'd indicated, it needed to be done need to be started by December 31st. I did submit a request to extend the grant agreement an additional 6 months so we can complete the project. So I would anticipate a budget amendment or a grant amendment from NatureWorks here, or from DNR here relatively soon. All right.
Yeah, if there's anything on Old Orchard Park, like that's.
Yeah, so this
Okay.
came up at the last meeting and Alyssa's done a little bit of work on this one as well.
So I met with Aaron Noblet today, the arborist, and we just walked through the park trying to see if there was any trees that were still viable. Unfortunately, all of them are pretty much past their prime for producing fruit. So we did want to make it an orchard again. We would need to plant new apple trees. And he was also mentioning clearing out some of the vegetation that has overgrown in that area and doing some trimming and pruning of the trees. They're not dead, but they're past producing, but they're still viable.
How much land is that park? Do we actually?
Oh, shoot.
I just ballpark. I don't know if it's like 5 acres or. I thought that sounds familiar, but I don't
I
know.
was thinking 3.5 acres or 4 acres,
Okay.
like that, yeah. And then interesting, I walked that trail yesterday and I went down and went around and then back up to meet the new trail again. And there's a sign there that says trail ends, and the trail doesn't end anymore, it turns. So we need to remove that sign, please.
Yes, thank you. So based on, I think what Alyssa and Aaron and I think Alex joined them as well, the zoning officer joined them for the walk. Just want to make sure, maybe would we want to, it seems like maybe we do want to at least clear out, again, maybe make the trees at least a little bit more accessible.
Yeah.
That is what we talked about the last time. So, but again, understanding that we're not going to get fruit out of them. So
Right,
that's one
right.
thing. Do we want to explore the possibility of of additional apple trees down there or?
I think that'd be kind of a neat claim that we had. Yeah, I would like to see us do that.
All right, well then we'll engage Aaron to help us a little bit with some recommendations on kind of what we could do down there. Yeah.
And Department of Natural Resources probably would lend some information and even have some grant stuff available for doing that kind of thing, because they're always looking for opportunities to spend taxpayer dollars on good stuff.
We'll definitely, Alyssa, look into that. I do think we feel like there may be the county grant application.
That mini health grant that we went
Yeah.
after last year would be perfect for this area too,
Yeah.
so.
So we'll explore that as a possibility for getting some funding. Okay. All right.
All right. Well, I know, it looks like we got through that pretty quick. Any other, Ms. Martin, do you have anything else that? Okay, well then it looks like, anything from staff as far as additional? All right, well, once again, thank you very much for the information you provided, and I guess I'll make a motion to adjourn.
And I'll second it.
All right,
Mr. Grumney,
yes.
Mr. Martin,
Yes.
2 yeas, we are adjourned.